ownership of utilities and who's responsible to maintain and service them. So I doubt that anything would be done in that regard in terms of us taking out a blanket coverage because it's already addressed in the lease. Essentially, we're not changing anything existing with service, more so just a relocation of where the meter device is.
Okay, my last question is, I think by law now, you're required to do water testing in here, and we get a report mailed to us.
Yes, sir.
Is that going to continue?
Yeah.
And where will the water testing points be?
My office.
Okay, that's the only one?
They come regularly, yeah.
Okay, and on your map for fire hydrants, I don't see King Street marked with any meters or any hydrants. If you look at King, there's one maybe at King and Estate Drive. I guess you guys call that east. I'm not, no, that would be, I don't know what the hell you call that section.
So King Street,
King, the only one I see is all the way at the end of King where it comes out to Estate. That's a pretty windy street and it comes up almost to, you know, Palace. I don't see any meter, any location for fire hydrants.
fire marshal requirements, regulations are that you must not have greater than 1,000 feet spacing for hydrants. So if you take your hydrant at East Estates, either the hydrant on Ladd or the hydrant Ladd and Queen or around in Palace or up to Squire, they're together, they're all within, every house in that vicinity is within 500 feet of one of those hydrants.
You have a question about
Wait, that gentleman.
Yeah, is there any foreseeable water increases in the future? We've had some in the past years here.
The sucks, you know, the side, the Tidewater, you know, just kind of quick background.
Yeah.
Every capital improvement that Tidewater makes, this being one of them. Main extension in Newcastle County, new water treatment facility in Kent County. Every capital dollar we spend will eventually, some percent of that will go into your rates. So essentially, all 80,000 of our customers, whatever, will be paying for this at some point in time. Just like you all will be paying for a main extension we do in Newcastle County. The way it works is every couple, 3 years, we accumulate all that capital expenditure. We file a petition with the Public Service Commission seeking a rate increase, like all utilities do. There's a negotiation between us and them, and they say, okay, you get an 8% increase, or you get a 12%, or whatever. So yes, I don't know when the last one was, but it'll definitely be enough.
And you had said that the pipe is, instead of 4 inches, going to be 6 inches. Isn't that what you just said? So there's not going to be an increase in more water coming in to our home?
Volume,
There you go. So,
not pressure. So that's a good thing. Your shower should have a little more volume.
yeah.
Like he said about your neighbors flushing at the same time, that should all be better.
So what about running the washer and someone getting the shower at the same time? Just can't get that right.
Well, that's your in-house.
Yeah, that'd be easy.
Okay.
Yeah, plenty of water available.
I had two things.
And then
Better for the contractor who does works with this type of stuff. Do they have any type of aftermarket flow meter that residential people can have put in line that they're worried about that line bursting or something between the house and the trailer? I mean, between the trailer and the meter?
Yeah, there's several companies that do that.
So that's something to think about.
Yeah, I think any alarm company can set you up that if you have a central alarm on the house, you can include a flow meter.
That they put somewhere after the meter to protect at least most of the line to the...
It would go inside, and I think it works on sound.
So that, they'll put it right in the vault.
Yeah, no, not in the vault, be inside the utility closet.
Inside what?
I've never installed any, but
But the device is in the vault or right after the vault or something that...
what's in the vault itself will be the water meter, the transmitter is part of the head on that sends the reading to the truck, and the check valve. That's the only thing I'll feed in the
But I'm
meter.
talking about if you had a aftermarket flow.
That would be inside the house somewhere.
But I mean, how would you detect that before the house if it's burst out in the yard?
Yeah.
It wouldn't work in that application.
That's what I'm saying. They don't have something that you can
Not that I'm aware of.
They have it, but they won't allow you to put it in their box.
Why don't they want to put it in the bulk? I mean,
If there's something, you can put it on your in-ground line on your side of the box, conceivably in a little meter box and a little bulb.
Right, it's just something extra,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean-
I do have another thing is, if something were to happen, what's the average cost of a repair if that line were to break?
I've seen several residents over, the 5 years I've been here, and it looks like they're paying between $400 and $800 depending on what.
Leak in the line of some sort.
In terms of replacing the line, so
So
they have
just
a
for a full
plumber
replacement.
come out, they replace the lines, depending on where you're located, they trench it out, they put in a brand new service, you're looking,
But now, if the new stuff, if something were to be a leak for some reason, then it would just be an easy repair rather than replace. The only reason they replace it now is because it's old equipment,
Your question?
right?
right.
So now, if there was a leak or something, it would just most likely be a repair.
Yes.
I'm just gonna suggest, that Carol's been telling me not to tape this, that you would somehow get it on a website or something, so people, if they really have a question, they're gonna listen to it, they can go on our website.
That's why we're taping it, it's going to be on our
Yeah,
website.
so you can include the URL, the web address
Right.
in your letter that you send out.
Yes, I'm going to work with the HOA to make sure that the infrastructure they have in place in terms of communicating to the residents, members.
Did you have a question?
I just wanted to, on the new lines that you're putting in that connect to the house, they're not going to be where there's any tree roots, correct? Because we've had a lot of residents have issues with replacing lines because of tree roots, because the lines have broken.
The service line will be drilled under any existing trees and their roots. But at some point, they have to come to the surface so that we can find it and tie it into your new main, your existing line. So as long as there's nothing right up against your trailer, your unit, that would pose a problem.
So there isn't an option like to go around those roots? Because I mean, the roots are going to continue to grow. So if you're putting them where someone's already, has a potential to have problems, I would think we would try to go around those roots so that we're not creating a future problem.
We'll do the best we can to do
Okay.
that, absolutely.
Thank you.
I think the one thing that some people may be missing is it's going to be brand new lines.
Yeah.
Except where it underground, right next to your mobile home, where it ties in. So the only weak spot should be where their new pipe meets the old pipe
Yes.
that goes to your shut-off. The other stuff should be, tree roots should not bother that for a gazillion years.
And also with regards to the concern with the tree roots, most of our trees in here are already pretty well established, mature trees. Your root structure is not growing as rapidly as a younger tree, so even if they bore through some roots there, the likelihood of there being an interruption where it's actually going to break that line is very unlikely.
Now it's your turn.
Do we have one other?
I think going along with that question, we've had water main breaks where the resident was not a full-time resident, and it was broken by the existing tree roots when the plumber came in and dug it up. This went to court and everything else because the resident didn't own the trees, but the courts in Delaware said, well, they own the trees, but they don't own the roots. So that question was, if you're going to go through or around trees that are existing now with a line that never was in that area, what protection does that person have that that root's not going to wrap around that pipe in a year and break it?
You mean after a year?
Yeah, because a lot of the runs, like for even my own house, is twice as long as what it is now. Now, I'm fortunate, I don't have a tree problem that I know of, but there are going to be a lot of these lines now that are going longer distance that we're responsible for and going through trees. There was somebody in here earlier that said he has a lot of trees. So the plumber comes out a year from now or 2 years from now and digs up the hole and sees that the line was broken because the trees wrapped around.
But this new stuff is so strong, John, and the lines that people are having problems with, they're lines that were put in the 70s. This is stuff that's 40 years old.
Okay.
We will have some flexibility as to where we put the meter, where we think the service needs to be connected to your existing line, and we'll do our best to avoid significant roots structures. So to that end, these guys, when we install our meters, will be aware of that and cognizant of that, and do our best within the confines of your property and where the meters need to go to avoid that. But to his point, this SDR9, even as roots would grow, they tend to just wrap around that kind of pipe and not break through it because it's just so strong.
There's no joints in it for the roots.
Right, if there's no water, then they're not.
Are you leaving these two mats for us?
Sure.
Okay.
We're gonna have 3 more questions and then wrap it up.
I had my home replumbed, so that's the reason for all of my questions. And then several weeks later, actually I drained the pipes, I just didn't blow the pipes out, so the residual froze. It was 10 degrees, whenever it was very cold, I wasn't home, fetal funeral. And I had my home replumbed. Several weeks later, the main froze. So I have heat tape. I had heat tape previously, but I don't know if it failed or what. But my question is, you mentioned you won't touch heat tape. I have heat tape now that goes now below ground because the main froze. I didn't have any plumbing issues, just the main the second time.
Does it come out from underneath your home or just underneath your home?
The heat tape?
Yeah.
It goes down on the ground, around the main. Around the main, there's the main
A
froze.
lot of them had that.
Yeah, is it underneath your home?
Yeah.
It's underneath, actually it's outside. It's outside underneath my rear steps. Underneath the rear steps, that's where the main and that's where the meter is.
So it goes to the meter.
Yes. Yes, it was the other side of the meter evidently that froze.
Well, let's get her at
I had a contractor
We'll look
come
at
out
that
and melt
situation.
everything, and then everything was fine. Of course, I had this plumbing, so.
I'll identify your site and then I'll make sure that they have that info so that when they go to your home, they know to look out for
Heat
what
tape.
might exist. Right.
It's plugged in, I mean, you can
We
see there's a
understand.
switch underneath. but-
Our first impression is that must be a very shallow line, or else, it shouldn't freeze. The new line certainly is going to be deeper, but we'll take a look at what you have as we get there.
All right.
Most of the homes in this community at one time had a pole light on their front lawn, and everybody had existing heat tape that came up out of the ground. It was wrapped maybe 3 to 6 inches under the dirt, and the original park owner would look at the street pole light on your lawn, and they physically would stop and screw a new bulb in if that's all it was. If it wasn't that the bulb was working after they put a new bulb in, that meant that your heat tape was not working too, because the same circuit for that light on the street was for the heat tape outlet that's underneath your house. Now, most people don't even know that they have an outlet with heat tape underneath their house, and maybe the heat tape's been taken out. But I don't think it goes any more than 6 inches underneath the soil, wherever that is.
We have one more
You
question.
said you're going to start back on the King Creek side, right? Because that's where their main line's coming in now.
Correct.
So that area that's fenced off back there that goes up against there, is that going to be dug up in the back too?
See where we anticipate tying in to the main that runs along the backyards of these homes. It's on this side of the fence, so we don't expect to need to get into the fence at all. But we will be doing some digging in that area to locate that main, tie into it, and then
So it's
run
going to be
between these
down on the
homes.
lower part
What's
of that, not,
I'm sorry, I didn't hear your question.
it's going to be down on the lower part is where you're talking about, or is it going to go up through the middle ways?
It'll be tied in here and then come directly to the street.
Okay, so it's not going up the back.
That's correct. That's correct. All right, one more.
I'm sorry, I just got there, so I'm not sure if anybody asked this question or not, but how is this project going to affect our water, running water during the time of the project?
There will be a scheduled shutdown to tie in your new service to your existing line. Other than that, we don't anticipate any additional outages because your existing main will be in service until we make that change. But there may be a